Wolfgang, where you at, man? Shit.
What it good do, good people? Wolfgang Amadeus in the house. This is Set in the West. If you don't know, now you know, but you should know. Like, share, subscribe. I'm just about to get into something real quick. I want y'all to really, really understand where it is that I'm coming from, right? If any other rapper was involved in some stuff that, was mentioned with anything within the Epst house, every hip hop blog would have 20 posts up already. But just because it's Jay-Z, it's silence. And it's not because the story isn't big, but it's because Jay-Z is protected. Hip hop media won't touch Jay-Z and Epst, and here's why. Now, let me just make it straight up. Look, I'm not accusing Jay-Z of a crime. I'm questioning why hip hop media refuses to investigate or even address major public allegations the same way they did for everyone else. Let's just, again, he didn't commit a crime. I'm not saying these documents prove guilt. I'm saying the public deserves consistency because hip hop media has no problem destroying reputations when it's convenient. Case in point, Tory Lanez, Diddy, R. Kelly, NBA Youngboy, Tekashi 6ix9ine. The list goes on. These are just people that I'm just referencing as of late. The names were allegedly mentioned in connection to the Epstein related documents or the hotline tips. And the names that I'm referring to are Jay-Z and Pusha T, Sean Carter. Now, it just because they mention it, it doesn't equal evidence. But mentioning it is newsworthy, especially for someone like Jay-Z. Look, the hip hop media reported a rumor about Drake's outfit, but won't touch anything dealing with Epstein, right? I mean, even me saying his name, it's gonna flag some stuff, right? That's just what's going on. It's crazy how you can mention something, someone's really major within the hip hop community, and I guess people are shook. I think that's what it is. Or they run with we need more evidence. They say, Jay-Z, when anything dealing with Jay-Z, we need more evidence. It's unverifiable. Don't spread any rumors. Y'all trying to bring a black man down. So I guess the rules change depending on who's involved. So why won't they cover it? Here's the real reasons. Hip hop publications don't report news anymore. They protect access. If they go too hard at Jay-Z, they lose Rock Nation connections. They lose connections at different events. They lose interviews. They don't get invited. They don't get invitees. Or case in point, whenever a Rock Nation artist is about to do their thing, they always hit the Breakfast Club. Always. We just saw the thing with La Russell. La Russell just signed to Rock Nation, and he announced it on the Breakfast Club because Rock Nation is connected to the Breakfast Club, from what I saw, from what I understand. I'm gonna even say somebody, even Elliot Wilson, and shout out to Elliot, he's an OG, but I don't see him talking about this at all. Joe Budden ain't talking about this at all. Vlad, now y'all already know what I don't even like to even say that name, the Impaler, not mentioning anything about Jay-Z. I mean, who else? Academics is the only one. Ak is the only one really talking about it to a degree. That's very interesting. Who else in hip hop? I mean, we could talk about, I think Complex, let me see. Did Complex even talk? As I'm doing this, I'm just like, Complex Magazine, did they talk about it? I don't think they did though. I really don't think they did. They're not talking about it. Double XL Mags not talking about it. No one is talking. Okay. All hip hop mentioned it. But they said, they hurried up and said, rumors move fast. It's important why you should read. Yeah. You definitely should read, and you definitely should have context. Like even Jon Stewart. I saw that Jon Stewart was mentioned in these files. And he came onto his show to clarify and say, the only reason why he was mentioned is because someone mentioned to that monster, that predator, that he should do some type of documentary and have Jon Stewart narrate it. And it's like, okay, he's not guilty by association. He just was mentioned, and he explained it. But he explained it all jokingly and all funny, and people were laughing. And it's like, come on, bro, this is not a laughing matter. These people had access to children. If you really read and y'all see what's going on with this whole situation, the company that take the school pictures and all that, they have access. They had access to our kids. Like they can go pick. Oh, I want that one. I want this one. This goes back years. Even when I was in school, I believe so this is not a funny thing. This is not a laughing matter. This is serious. There's been all types of allegations thrown at Jay-Z for years. We got the Raymir Satterwhite situation. There's rumors about the Aaliyah thing. There's this video here where Jay-Z is actually here he is with the one and only Harvey Weinstein. Check it out.
In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for what it means for mass incarceration.
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Then can I ask you about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement?
Yeah. The blogs don't want to lose ad relationships and inside sources. So I guess that's what that whole meme or that shirt that he had on at the Super Bowl meant. The game needs me. Really, bro? I guess the game do need you because maybe you got stuff on all these people. Even Charlemagne, there's been some stuff about him and the weirdo stuff that and there was a. Let me get on Charlemagne real quick. Remember that butt cake that he made, or not a cake? I'm sorry. He actually busted his behind, or busted a bust of a behind, and gave it to Envy. Do you know in the files, they had a cake. They said there was a cake that was made similar. They used to do that. They used to make cakes similar. I mean, did they even know that? If you guys remember the Breakfast Club, they had this bromance, and I don't know, maybe it was something else going on, but I don't know. Alleged. DJ Envy birthday. They celebrated his birthday, and Charlemagne gave him a piece of his ass as a bust. Like, oh my God. So you already know there's all kind of funny stuff that go on with these weirdos within the industry, hip hop circles. Just like a bunch of these weirdos that go on and go over to the island and do that. Anyway, look. I guess the game do need you, Jay. But I think really it's about this. Jay, he has powerful attorneys. He does. These hip hop publications, they fear legal actions. Publications with smaller artists, or publications that talk about if they're smaller publications, right? They'll attack artists and they'll attack smaller people, but they don't want to risk a legal war with someone like a Jay-Z. You see what I'm saying? It's also the gatekeeping aspect. Jay-Z isn't treated like a rapper now. He's treated like a political figure, if y'all really think about it. People act like questioning him is disrespecting the culture. I keep it way too funky over here. This is Set in the West. This is Wolfgang Amadeus. And none of that ass kissing goes on over here. No capitulation, none of that. Let's do this. Let's compare it to the Pusha T situation. So Pusha T gets involved into this whole situation because he's connected to Jay-Z. Now conversations become, why are they dragging Pusha T into this? But that's how the industry works. If you are attached to someone, you get protected too. Pusha T is a lyricist. Jay-Z said it himself. He says, I'm a businessman. Jay-Z is a business machine. So maybe that's why he was saying the game needs me. You know what I'm saying? Charlemagne, let's go back to that real quick. Charlemagne said, people came out, with this whole Jay-Z and Pusha T stuff, and they, there weren't too many rappers. There was Eminem, he was mentioned in here, but long story short, Charlemagne came out quick defending both of them, and saying the backlash is reactionary. I agree, people should not assume a guilt, for real. But what's interesting, the media immediately rushed to defend Jay-Z instead of asking questions. No one asked the questions. That's why I played the video before. Look at when Jag went on to Piers Morgan and said what she said 16 months back. And said that fist, the Steens and the Diddy's and the Jay-Z's. And what happened with that? And that's a whole nother conversation, because I think Piers Morgan even owes Jag an apology. But that's a whole nother conversation. They retracted what she said like it was, So now that this comes out, they're still just refusing. They're still refusing to talk about it. They're just ignoring it. It's looking real like, it's just looking real fishy. But the bigger point that I'm making about hip hop media, it isn't journalism anymore. Hip hop journalism used to investigate. Now it just gives out press releases. And it has playlists. They don't even expose the industry because they are the industry. They don't report on power. They report for power. Notice the silence from major platforms. Just notice it. That's all that I really want y'all to really pay attention to. Notice it. The same blogs that covered the Drake rumors and everything Kanye said, his rants, every Diddy headline, they suddenly don't have the time to talk about this Jay-Z connection to the Fouls and Pusha T. That's really all that I'm talking about. Let's compare it to Diddy. When Diddy, his situation broke, the publications, they all went in. It was a free fall, especially TMZ. Oh, and TMZ is not talking about this at all. We know that. They're not talking. And shout out to Harvey Levin for being in the files. You get what I'm saying? For actually doing what we're talking about with the Epst guy. Protecting him. That's what was alleged in the files. When Diddy had his situation, they had documentaries ready. TMZ was the first ones to have a documentary, The Making of a Bad Boy, this and that. They were the first ones. They had documentaries ready. But Jay-Z gets mentioned in these files to, it's like taboo. So is it about the truth, or is it about who's safe to attack? Yeah, that's really what it's about. It's not about the truth. It's about who's safe to attack. Jay-Z and Pusha T, they built an image off of being like untouchable bosses. Kanye even said it, Jay and Pusha T get to unalive our people. And, he said that. And hip-hop media worship that. Them being these untouchable bosses. Selling all this unimaginary dope. And that's another thing. I just stand from a different situation. If you are someone who actually made their bones in the streets for destroying our people by, selling D-rugs, you definitely shouldn't be put on no pedestal. You shouldn't be worshipped. But hip hop media worships this. Now, all those same publications are scared to question the people they put on a pedestal. Now, Epstein, and I hate saying his name now, is a name connected to elite power networks. If any celebrity names appear in the public chatter around his name, people are going to ask questions. Don't mean guilt. It just means the public expects transparency. But hip-hop publications should be the first ones investigating and not ignoring it. This is exactly why independent platforms like myself, shout out to myself, Set in the West, shout out to our people who are getting into the fight, that are really talking about the issues. We're not on the payroll. We don't need access. We just care about consistency. I don't get paid to protect celebrities. I get paid to tell the truth as best as I possibly could. For real. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna end it with this though. If Jay-Z is innocent, fine. Let it be proven. But the hip hop media is silence. They're not talking about this story at all. Hip hop publications are supposed to represent the culture. Instead, they're representing corporate interests. The culture don't need gatekeepers. The culture has the people, and the people deserve answers. You understand what I'm saying? Look, I ain't gonna front. When I saw Jay-Z at the Super Bowl and they had him on the screen, I got hot and I did a live, and then I just made it members only because I don't really get I'm pretty even keel. I don't get too emotional about certain stuff, but that just pissed me off. Going through these files as of late has pissed me off even more. And I'm just online, and I'm not gonna say too much. And I understand the game that's going on right now, but look, these people who we've so-called elected into positions of power, they need to be held accountable. Now they and I'm talking about the president, I'm talking about everybody in the FBI. You guys redacted the files, and you know who these people are. And they're still able to just do what they need to do, or they business as usual. I mean, I am going to reserve what it is that I want to say to another platform. I'm not going to really go there, but I am pissed. I know a lot of people who are really and I've been knew about a lot of this stuff. And you just kind of you just sit back and kind of just observe and be like, okay, hey, maybe one day the truth will come out and people will, but people ain't doing nothing. And people, it's just business as usual. Man, I am heated. And it's all good. It's all good. That's all I really want to say. I'm just going to do what I can to get everyone to pay attention to what's really going on. That's really all that I'm doing. That's all I can do. Y'all pay attention to what's really going on. Hip hop isn't independent journalism anymore. It's industry controlled. I'm disappointed in quote unquote hip hop media. Y'all can kiss my ass. The people, I'm not too disappointed in the people. I think something's coming. I think the reason why these elites, so-called elites, are building up these bunkers, it ain't because of a doomsday situation. They scared of us. That's really what it really boils down to. So banning MP3s, these lyrics is weaponized, raise the consciousness of the people. That's what they threaten by. That's all I gotta say. Wolfgang Amadeus, Set in the West. Peace.